the wee hours of the night, and we don't stop until the sunlight. We just keep going, cause the die-hard won't go down without a fight.
My life is like a highlight reel. Some might consider this my twilight, but depending how I might feel, I might continue on with my career for 5 light years. Critics can fly kites, yeah, welcome to my nightmare. Pressure's on, blood pressure racing. I calculate my next step, pacing. Don't know if I'll meet expectations. All I know is the world better get set. Dre's in effect. Been in it since you had cassette decks taping.
It took me a while to come around on Michael Bisping. I think it did for a lot of us. I mean, we all knew he was good, there was clearly potential there, but it always seemed like there was something missing. For a while, I feel like the words inches from greatness were an adequate summary of his career, but then at the tail end, it really felt like he turned a corner. He's a great example of just sticking with it. Teaming up with Jason Parillo was a massive step for Mike as a guy kind of known for gym hopping a little bit.
He felt that I had something that he can gain from. He can actually get something off of me. And I felt that I had a real fighter in front of me.
JP talked about taking on the task of molding a late career Michael Bisping and noticing a big problem with his fight style that nobody else seemed to catch. Bisping had no real major tactics or real in-depth game planning. Said by JP himself,
I felt like he had no direction. He didn't know where he was going. He was just fighting strictly on heart, speed, and experience.
Hearing that for the first time put a lot of things about Mike's career into perspective for me. All of a sudden, with JP at the helm, Mike starts taking less damage, he starts fighting smarter, and he does a better job at pushing the pace. It really is a great example of the difference good coaching can make. As far as Bisping's style goes, his entire striking game was based on tempo and pressure. I've summed up the experience of fighting him before with, if you want to beat Mike, you're gonna have to pry it from his cold, dead fingers. Always in your face, never letting you breathe, always throwing something at you. There's also something that drains a fighter when the other guy just never lets up no matter what. It just breaks people. Bisping was definitely a feel it out as the fight goes kind of guy, a real kinesthetic learner inside the cage. He loved entering the pocket, he liked utilizing the jab, and he loved the deep waters that he would subsequently drag his opponents into.
You can have all the success in the world against Michael Bisping early. He does build as the fights go on.
There have been a ton of fighters that rest on their laurels, just kind of sticking to what they're good at, and Mike was not one of them. He definitely improved his wrestling through the years. He became super tough to keep on the ground. He's an example of a guy that learned how to fight you as it continued. One of Mike's career-defining moments was his win over Anderson Silva. Maybe one of the best fights of all time? Possibly. It was a window into where Bisping was at, being 37, fully aware his time was kind of running out, up against the biggest challenge of his career, and a guy most people figured he had no chance of beating. The guy stood in his face, stayed calm, backed the Spider Goat up against the cage, and it seemed like he was cruising to an easy win. But then, mouthpiece, distraction, flying knee. It was like some shit in a pro wrestling match.
3, security, wait, run in, wait, over there! My God!
The winner of this match, Captain Shawn Dean!
If you look while Anderson's celebrating, Mike's clearly rocked, but he's not unconscious. He literally points at Herb Dean and says, "I'm not out." Bisping proceeds to get back up, win round 4, snag victory from the jaws of defeat, and give Anderson a lifelong hatred of Herb Dean. Even if, it's not even his fault. His fight with Dennis Kang is also a huge moment in his career. He had all this hype behind him, then he gets KO'd by Hendo in one of the worst knockouts of all time.
He was the good old-fashioned, hard-working, quiet American boy that's gonna come in and fuck me up. Yeah. And that's exactly what he did. And that's what he did. My God. It was the biggest show the UFC had ever done, and I got knocked out in the most spectacular fashion. And then he flies through the air as I'm already unconscious and gives me another one. But good times.
Then Mike goes out there and gets rocked early. Flashbacks of the Hendo fight playing in everyone's head. But you saw, even from the walkout, that Mike was not going to be denied. Rogan summed it up perfectly. That Henderson fight might have created a monster. Mike stays with it, gets back up, and eventually finds his wrestling. Kang starts to gas out, Bisping sees it, and he puts on a pace. Kang melts, they stop it, and Bisping shows that he can get past adversity. Hell of a performance. Michael Bisping's career was a roller coaster, man. Wins, losses, highest highs, and the lowest lows. When fighters talk about getting 1% better every day and just not giving up, they'll point to Mike. He wasn't some physical specimen or a jiu-jitsu ace. He was a solid kickboxer that just loved to fight. How many guys would keep fighting after losing an eye? How many of you out there would willingly go into a fight like this? It's insane what that guy put himself through to get that gold around his waist. And that's probably what it takes to succeed on the highest level. Having an iron will, clear direction, and never saying die. And when I think of the first fighter that encapsulates those attributes, it's definitely the Count.